What's up guys, welcome back to another video, hope you're all doing well today. We're on some MX bikes as always, however, bit of an announcement video I guess more than anything. So there's been some updates, some movement in regards to the LAN event that's coming up in November, and I guess like sign-ups are open now. There's been an announcement and it's all entwined with Inner Esports, etc. I am all signed up and ready to go now, and the other announcement is that the bikes that are being used for this race is going to be the OEM TM bikes. I believe it's just the TM 450. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of this TM, I can't lie to you. I've been riding it for like the last 30 minutes or so, trying to get my head around it. Mr. Reese has been nice enough to send me a setup that he's made for it as well, which makes it a little bit more bearable. So the first round of qualifying for it, I believe, is on the 2nd of October. So at the point of me recording this, I have 3 days really to sit and grind and practice as much as I can and really try and get my head around these bikes as a whole. So I mean, I'm probably going to... I reckon I'll put a couple of hours in. I'm still very, very deep into the FIFA grind. I really am. It's actually ridiculous how many hours I've put into that game now, to the point where it's actually stopping me doing my normal uploads because I've left this video until very late at night again. But yeah, some time's going to have to be put in on my end, a little bit of effort to hopefully try and qualify as nice and easily as possible. I mean, before the new bikes dropped at all, I was quite confident about being able to qualify regardless. I think even on a bad day I could turn up and get top 10. However, as a combination of these new bikes, and I've been having internet troubles over the course of the last week, it's randomly been dropping out at no set times of the day, just randomly here and then it will drop out for 5 to 10 minutes and then come back again. So if that happens during qualifying at all, I'm going to be a very, very unhappy man, because if that does it in one out of any of the 4 races, that's me most likely out of it, out of the top 10 with no chance of going. So if you've been living under a rock, the LAN event is happening kind of 2nd-ish week of November. It's November the 11th, and there's 4 rounds that you go through qualifying online. Top 10 after those 4 rounds gets invited to a LAN where your plane tickets and your hotel is all paid for. If you've been putting off buying that new MX gear, or you're just looking for some new daily MX related clothing, then head on over to fxrracing.com. Code MXPR_Lins15 at checkout will give you 15% off all motocross and lifestyle products. This code is applicable to the European, Swedish and Norwegian websites, not Canada or the USA. And whilst I've got your attention, you may as well subscribe to the channel. It's just one click of a button and it puts a big old smile on my face. Hope you enjoy the rest of the video. So really, really cool stuff just for playing a little bit of MX bikes. However, also announced was a prize list. Now, there's been a little bit of controversy about said prize list, because if you went into it with a completely open mind and you had, like, you was interested in everything in the world, you'd be really, really happy. Now, when I first heard the sponsor list, we've got like a bunch of different bike manufacturers. We've got Honda, we've got KTM, Husqvarna, Fantic, etc. And when I first started hearing that, I was like, oh, maybe someone will get like a brand new bike. That would be really, really cool, like a massive prize. However, it's a little bit different than that. So I think they go in, so the prizes are from 1st through to 10th. Everyone that goes to LAN does get a prize. But oddly enough, talking amongst other competitors, it sounds like everyone really wants prizes 6th through to 10th. Like, nobody wants spots 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. And I'll tell you the reasoning why. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't want this to come across as me not being grateful or anything, because in the grand scheme of things and the cash value of these prizes, if you was to be able to cash out, that is, they're really, really good. However, 1st, 2nd and 3rd place gets, I think it's 2 tickets, like 2 VIP tickets to the MotoGP in Qatar, not MXGP, MotoGP in Qatar, as well as I think it's 2 nights in a 4-star hotel all paid for and a rented car for you. Which sounds really, really sick, and if you're into MotoGP, then that'll 100% be your thing. That is for 1st, 2nd and 3rd place. You get that prize, which some people will be really, really into. I am not a big MotoGP fan at all, so it doesn't really scream out to me as like, oh my god, amazing. But I think the cash value, if you was to go and buy those VIP tickets and a 4-star hotel for 2 nights in Qatar and flights, etc., it probably comes out to like 4 or 5 grand. So in terms of value, really, really good. It's just in terms of interest, maybe not so much. 4th and 5th place is MotoGP again. So again, more road bikes if you're into that. However, that's a variety of different GPs to choose from like Catalunya to Assen, and there's a few others in there that I can't remember off the top of my head. Then it's when it starts getting a little bit more spicy, a bit more interesting. So 6th, 7th and 8th, I think it's 6th, 7th and 8th, get Superbike tickets, which I think from speaking to some of the, I guess, moto enjoyers, road bike enjoyers, the Superbikes these days tends to be a lot more exciting than the MotoGP stuff, my dad included. He loves his road bikes, and when I mentioned the prizes to him, he was much more excited about the Superbike tickets than MotoGP tickets. But you get to go to, again, it was 1 or 2 different Superbike rounds. I can't remember off the top of my head. You got to choose between a couple. And then the one that I think most people would be interested in, because we are motocross enjoyers and it's a motocross event that we're competing in, is for 9th and 10th, you get 2 MXGP tickets. And like flights and everything. These are all flights included, tickets included, like hotel included, everything, all these. This one's for MXGP, which is going to be at either, which was it? It was Maggiora in Italy, or it's going to be Ernée in France. You get to choose between one or the other, which I think majority of people want. So I did make a little bit of a joke or a comment saying if somehow I find myself, first of all, qualifying for LAN, but then if I find myself in the lead coming up to the finish, I'm really tempted to pull over and try and get that 9th or 10th spot to go to an MXGP, or worst case scenario, go to Superbikes and take my dad with me, because that would be a nice treat for him. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about all the MotoGP stuff. I am not interested in it at all. I haven't watched it for a very long time. I don't think you could even go as far as like selling the prizes you have, because it's all kind of done in your name. And I don't think there's a way of cashing out. I mean, one thing that I think would have been really good is instead of the prizes being dedicated per spot, it could be like a pool of prizes, and then first place picks their prize, second place picks theirs, etc., and so on and so forth. I think that could be a good way of going about it. But yeah, it's definitely been a bit of a grey area for people. Like, it seems to be a 50-50, and I can't take away, in terms of like value and stuff, for playing MX bikes, those are insane gifts or insane prizes to be won. It just depends on what you're into, depends on how much enjoyment you get out of those. So that was one announcement. The TM is the next announcement. As you've seen me riding around here in the background, I've kind of zoned out whilst trying to talk at the same time. I'm not very fast on these bikes. I'm really not. I am struggling, but again, I'm going to be trying to practice over the next couple of days, and hopefully come the first round of qualifiers, I'll be absolutely fine. I do want to warn people, I think Nico might have changed something on the shop today. However, if you pay attention to the shop on a daily basis, notice that the 4 qualifying tracks released without a password, and at first I thought, right, this is either a case of the tracks are redone and we just get to grind them for the next few days, or the tracks are done and they've been released by accident without a password. So I went and downloaded them all real quick, just to find out that they are exactly the same tracks, just updated with different naming, because the organisers at the EICMA event that we're hosting LAN at didn't like us all having our own internal like branding, so it's been redone with their name on it essentially. So do not accidentally go and buy the tracks again. Please do not make that mistake, because I know Reese did for a few as well, and then I did for a couple too. So big L on our behalf. Maybe we should probably read it. It was probably on there somewhere in regards to it, but well, it's not the end of the world. So if you're unaware, the 4 qualifying rounds, they are in no particular order, because I can't remember off the top of my head. They are Maggiora, Riolu, Sardinia, which I'm on now. We have got Mantova, and God, what's the last one? Trentino as well. So 4 Italian tracks. Makes sense, as we're going to Italy for it. Riding the Italian Stallion bike itself, the TM, and all should be fairly good stuff, fairly straightforwards. I'm tempted one night, it'll probably be quite late on when I'm in a little bit of a grinding mood, I might do a bit of a silent live stream where I don't talk at all, but I'll just sit here grinding the bikes, trying to get the flow and get the hang of them a little bit. I think my biggest issue on them right now, there's a couple of weak spots for me. One is in fairly choppy bumps. I'm not sure if it's just a TM thing or if it's just me in general, but the bike struggles on the choppy stuff. I find that the wheels will kind of step out from underneath you, especially if you're slightly turning, going through some choppy stuff. The front wheel will just go from underneath you and there's no real way of saving it. The other issue that I have is consistency right now. For half a lap, I feel like I'm nice and flowy and fine, and then the next half a lap, I'll be understeering or oversteering all over the place. And then, oh, survive. Can I get this triple? Stretch it. Yes, I can. We're fine. Yeah, and then the other thing is in slow corners, like particularly slow ones, there's a couple of extra slow corners on, like, Maggiora, for example. I really struggle with the oversteering on the slow corners. I feel like I'll basically do a 270 rather than a 180 like I'm meant to. So it's all going to come down to muscle memory. It's all going to be a whole bunch of practice. Probably to the point where, like, how I played the game when I first started playing it, like that sort of level of grinding, because I don't want to be stressed in this qualifying process. I really, really don't. I want to just be able to turn up, do my race, and I don't care what position I qualify in those top 10, as long as I'm in the top 10. One other thing, sorry, in regards to prizes, which I personally am not interested in. I don't know if it's still even a relevant topic anymore. But to try and look a bit more cool and a bit more hip and down with the kids as such, I believe the top 3 people in each qualifying round, they get like a EICMA NFT, as if that's going to be worth anything. I don't know why an NFT of a motorbike event would be worth any money, but if you're cool and you screenshot PNGs on the internet, there you go. Here's a couple of NFTs for you to indulge in as well. But yeah, I think that'll do it for me. Just more of an update than anything to let you know where we're at for this event. In regards to questions like signing up and how to do it, etc., it's better off just joining the Discord that deals with it all, because there's announcements and all the information in there rather than me trying to answer it all in the comments in this video. If you want a link to it, then just feel free to ask in my Discord or the main MX Bikes Discord. I'm sure people can very easily link it to you. It's all done under the new Aerial server, which hosts like the outdoors races, indoor races, and now the LAN event as well. It's all done through that in partnership with Init Esports. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's been a little bit ranty, a little bit waffly, but hopefully I covered most of the bases. And I guess just wish me luck. I'm going to be trying to play the game a bit more than I have the last month or so. If you enjoyed, drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, all that lovely stuff. Have a lovely rest of the day. Catch you guys next time. Peace.